many people in the community, there's this kind of, mistrust, towards City Hall. I mean, and, you represent the community, you also represent City Hall. And we saw a little bit of that tonight, and kind of what's your role in this dialogue as the city is trying to do better and citizens here are maybe cautiously optimistic? What's your role as a councilwoman representing this community?
To bridge and bring transparency. So obviously a lot of people that were here, they did not know about a lot of these programs, and if you don't look for it, you won't find it. So that's why I wanted to make sure we brought the information to the community, so at least you can't say you did not know it existed. So I hope that the community left at least with some knowledge of what the city does as far as making sure the community is taken care of with the rehabbing of the homes, with making sure they have down payment assistance. Also understanding TIF, because again, when I was running, that was the subject pretty much on everybody's forum when we had our meetings. What is TIF? What are you going to do with TIF? And how does it work? So just making sure that the people were here to talk about TIF and for the community to understand this is what happens when we have TIF and how it can benefit or how it can be successful for the community, or also if we're not supporting it, how it cannot be so successful for the community. So just bringing awareness and knowledge was the main goal, and I believe we accomplished that today.
You get into the renovation side of that on the homes that are already dilapidated. How do you get into that side of that and programming for that?
The fact that she is from Ward 7, from Oklahoma City, she really understands the community. And besides being a great friend, I think she will do a great job of bringing the right information. And I know that she'll do her due diligence to get the right information to inform the community and get us very active.
So what I want to know is how do we then help close that gap so that we are represented? Because honestly, when I do look at your website, I don't see representation. What can we do to work better with your offices to get more representation so we feel a part of this decision-making process?
We don't care about color or anything like that. We'd love to work with you, and we'd love to have a group of minority developers that we could work with and help them develop the capital and the resources to be successful and to get more experience.
For a lot of people here, even if they feel like the city's being well-intentioned, there's a history of kind of distrust, and or they, you use the word targeted.
Right.
Councilwoman, her job is to kind of bridge that, right? How does she go about that? Do you feel like kind of connecting the two sides that sometimes have not been on the same page?
Well, it's interesting. She does a really good job of representing the entire ward. Yes, the Northeast is predominantly African American, but there's Hispanic, there's Asian, there's different ethnicities in the community, and she does a really good job of being intentional representing that entire population. So I love that, because Northeast is very diverse, and she's going to bring that out, and how she's presenting the right information to our community.
Like entrepreneurship to transpire in this area, maybe some more restaurants, just things that you can participate in, just not always have to necessarily go past 4th Street to go downtown in order to enjoy yourself.
One of the things we did hear from some people tonight is that they're kind of excited about some of the things the city wants to do, but there's also kind of a history of things not getting done, or maybe a lack of trust.
Yes, there has been a history with the urban renewal, so that would pose some questions or might represent some red flags for those of us who are old enough to remember what transpired with the last time urban renewal said they were going to do something.
So do you think things have changed, or?
Well, we are hopeful.
I got to know Nikki in the campaign, and she's a well-known quantity in Northeast Oklahoma City, which is why she won. And I find her to be intelligent and energetic, and also, she gets what a councilman does and doesn't do. That's anytime somebody's serving in elected office for the first time, sometimes they think the role can do more than it can, or they immediately kind of step on a lot of toes. But she seems to understand how to navigate it, and her priorities, as she's told me anyways, Northeast 23rd, the Adventure District, those are absolutely places where a councilman can make a difference, councilwoman in this case, can make a difference. And in fact, no difference will be made without that councilwoman leading the charge, and it's been most of the time I've been mayor, we've had turmoil in Ward 7. I mean, Lee Cooper did a fantastic job, but we always knew he wasn't going to be there forever. And so, now that we have the councilwoman who will represent Northeast Oklahoma City for, at least the next 2 or 3 years, it's good to have the team together, because there's really critical issues in Northeast Oklahoma City that I can now really partner with her on, and I'm excited. I think, and she's hit the ground running. Already had some good kind of town forums recently, and exposing her constituents to the opportunities out there for entrepreneurship and development in their ward, and we'll be side by side fighting for the retail options and government services that Northeast Oklahoma City desires and deserves.
I know she's just newly elected and newly on the job, but when we talk about a community that sometimes has some trust issues with City Hall, and she represents City Hall now, but she also represents the community. I mean, how would you kind of describe her role, her job?
I think that she will be an incentive for this position, and hopefully she will be able to bridge communities to work, the young and the old to work together, come up with some innovative ideas. She's young and intelligent, so I'm sure she will be a great asset to City Hall.
That I will support, obey, and defend.
Obey.
How have these first several weeks in office been for you? What's been the biggest challenge, and what's been the most fun for you?
It's been fast. The best part is learning the behind the scenes of how the city operates. I think that has been so exciting, meeting the people who are helping to make sure things are done efficiently and effectively in the community, in the city. The challenge is obviously my calendar right now, because there's so much going on, and making sure I can balance my community with their needs, and I want to make sure obviously they're at the forefront. Also, while I'm still learning the different departments and how they operate, because I had a crash course when I was running about the city, and now it's actually putting all of that into perspective. So thankfully, every person that I've met with, every department, they were just saying, we are here. If you have questions, just please make sure you let us know.
We are hopeful that we've got kind of the tools in place, and now we've kind of got our team in place, new mayor, new council person, and we're going to keep working at it. It's just a question of persistence and lobbying. I mean, I'm pretty active on social media, so I get those comments a lot. What is anyone doing, to improve retail options, for example, in Northeast? And there's a lot of people working on it, but it's not easy, because again, we can't just make it happen. We can lobby for it, and we can incentivize it, and we can be persistent. And there have been some victories, and the pivot development on Northeast 23rd is one recent example of some new construction happening on Northeast 23rd where it hasn't happened in a long time, and we hope that's a catalyst for more.
But now you're a public official. Do you feel more public official? Do you still feel like just someone, a resident in the community? I mean, how have you balanced that, and how has it changed for you?
I still feel like a regular resident, because after I get undressed, as far as my dressy clothes, my business clothes, I go home and I put my jeans on so I can feel a little back to my center, and put on my tennis shoes and my Thunder shirt, and just enjoy the community in Oklahoma City as a tourist, or even as just a part of the community like everybody else. So I'm still getting used to people calling me Councilwoman Nice, or people saying hello or recognizing me and saying congratulations. So I'm still getting used to that, because it's still surreal for me to be where I am, and being able to affect the change for our communities that we need for Ward 7.
Yeah, so we gonna go home and put the tennis shoes on and watch the rest of the game? Or something?
I am definitely about to head home, put on my tennis shoes, my Russell Westbrook, I got a Thunderstruck shirt on now, but probably get ready and say and scream at the TV like everybody else for these dunks and threes. Yeah.